I know I'm probably just being so dramatic and annoying, but this is my first job, like my first 9-to-5 job after college, and I'm in person, and I'm commuting in the city, and it takes me forever to get there. There's no way I'm going to be able to afford living in the city right now, so that's off the table. Like, duh! If I was able to walk to work, and it'd be fine, but I'm not. So it literally takes me, like, I leave here, like, I get on the train at 7:30, and I don't get home till, like, 6:15 earliest, and then, like, I don't have time to do anything. I want to shower, eat my dinner, and go to sleep. I don't have time or energy to cook my dinner either. Like, I don't have energy to work out. Like, that's out the window. Like, I'm so upset. Oh my god. Nothing to do with my job at all, but just like the 9-to-5 schedule in general is crazy. Being in the office 9 to 5, like if it was remote, you get off at 5 and you're home and everything's fine. But like I'm not home. It takes me long to get home, and like people that drive to the office, like you don't get off at 5. And I know it could be worse. I know I could be working longer, but like I literally get off, it's pitch black. Like I don't have energy. How do you have friends? Like how do you have time to like meet like a guy? I don't know. Like how do you have time for like dating? Like I don't have time for anything, and I'm like so stressed out. And I'm also getting my period, so that's why I'm all emotional. But like, am I so dramatic? It's fine.
I just wanted to have a little bit of fun with this, but if I'm being honest with myself, I actually agree with everything that she said. I know that she's getting a lot of shit down in the Twitter comments, and that's just kind of how Twitter works, but people are saying stuff like, welcome to the real world. They're not wrong. This kind of is what the real world is like, but it doesn't mean that she's wrong. She's actually right, and that sucks. And it's something that I feel like a lot of us have to be able to agree with, right? Like you go to work, you come home, and most of the time you have no energy for anything else. You have to really push yourself to do anything outside of just trying to relax, eat a little bit of food, just so you can go to sleep, wake up, and then just do the same thing again. I was in that kind of situation when I worked at AT&T. At first, I worked at a store that was an hour away. I would leave around 10:45 in the morning because my shift was at noon, and then I would be there until 9 o'clock at night. But for anybody that's worked in cell phones before, if someone comes in late, which happens all too often, you don't get to just close up at 9. You have to finish helping them. So a lot of times I wouldn't get back home until 11, midnight, maybe even later sometimes, and I just had to try to unwind, to go to sleep, to wake up, to do it again. And that shit burns you out. Thankfully, I was able to transfer after about 6 months, but even then, it's 12 to 9, 9:30, stay there a little bit later, you don't get home until 10, 10:30, you unwind, you go to sleep, and then when you wake up in the morning, you don't really want to do anything because you're like, well, I got work at 12, so I don't want to get caught up in anything, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, like I might as well just wait and kind of hang out, clean a little bit, and then I go to work and just do the same shit over and over again. Thankfully, once I started to do mornings, I'd get out around 7, 7:30, and even though I was tired and I didn't feel like doing anything, I pushed myself to start to do YouTube because I didn't really know anything about YouTube, Twitch, any of that. I discovered it while I was working at AT&T, and I was like, yo, this is awesome. People just play games and make content, and okay, I was like, I want to give this a shot. And so that was what I actually aimed to do. Regardless, it was hard to do. Like I'd get home and I was burned out and I didn't feel like doing anything. And I lost a lot of friends. I mean, like we still say hi to each other, but lost them as far as we don't hang out on a regular basis anymore. We don't talk daily anymore because I was so encompassed with working and trying to find a way to get out of that same routine every single day. That was really all that I had the time to do. I know that this is hitting home for a lot of people. There's definitely a lot of people out there that feel like they wake up, they go to work, they come home, they're stressed, they're tired, they're exhausted, and you don't really have time for much of anything else. I can't imagine people that have a family and they've got to keep up with their wife and they've got to, do things with their kids and all these other things and then just go to sleep and then wake up and do it again. You guys are champions. That's the best way that I could put it because I don't think I would have had that in me. So she's not wrong. It is a welcome to the real world, but it's sad that that's the reality of it, right? It's a welcome to the real world. We're all over here in hell. Come and join us. Suffer with us. I feel like that shouldn't be the mentality, and it's unfortunate that that's the mindset that a lot of people have because they're doing shit that they're just unhappy doing. Thankfully, there are people out there that find jobs that they enjoy, and it might take up 8+ hours of your day, but you're having a good time doing it, or you feel like you're adding something to the world doing it. I'm happy for those people, but I feel like there's way more that are stuck in a situation where they're like, I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know how to get out of this routine. And you end up in a cycle just like she explained. Now, for her, it's her first job. I don't know where her life is going to go, what she's going to figure out, but there's people that have been there for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and it just becomes the norm. And, you know, and there are people that don't like their job necessarily, but they're okay with it because they're like, you know what, listen, I get 2 days off, I get vacation time, I get sick leave, and I still do enough stuff that I feel happy with myself, because I'm not trying to make people feel depressed while I talk about this, but that's just the truth, right? I mean, and so I feel like people should rally together more so, and have been under her post like, you know what, you're right, it does suck. Like, this is kind of just the way that it is, but it sucks. And let's all acknowledge that together, instead of throwing this girl under the bus because she's gonna speak out on it and say, you know what, I'm gonna vent really quick. This isn't what I expected life to be. This isn't what I wanted for myself. This isn't how I want it to go. There's nothing wrong with her saying that. And I know some people will be like, well, why did she put it online? Why did she? And everything goes online now. It's 2023. I mean, you commenting on her video is online, right? So that's what we put our opinions online. We talk about what we want to do online, what we don't want to do, what we like, what we don't like. It's all a part of it. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like I was lucky to be able to do YouTube. And even now, I'm probably not very smart to be doing YouTube as my main thing, because I don't make a ton of money. It's not like I'm over here rolling in bags of money and I'm saving up tons of money, because throughout the first few years when I was probably making more than I even am now, I wasted a lot of it. I was traveling. I was going to see the girl that I was dating like 4 hours away every other weekend. I didn't think like financially, I need to save this. I thought it's just going to keep going. It's going to keep growing. And then I hit a stagnant point, and I was also smoking weed, and I was just doing a lot of dumb stuff. And now I'm extremely frugal. I try to save as much as I possibly can, because I know that this probably isn't going to last forever, and I need to try to get as much out of it as I can while I can. And I'm still going to work to try to make it progress. I do anime reactions, I do commentary, I do the music reactions. Like, I bust my ass to do as much as I can, but I enjoy this. That's the difference. When I was at AT&T, I started off enjoying it. I felt really good about myself, because I'm like, you know what, this is a reputable job. And that's a subjective term because it's sales, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I was happy for myself. And then it kind of turned into something that I didn't like, because of the fact that I was pushed to, you know, try to sell people stuff that they didn't need. And then all these rules, and they're constantly lecturing you, and it kind of just got out of hand for me. So I'm super thankful and blessed to be able to do what I do. And again, it might not be the smartest, but as soon as I was able to pay all of my bills and have a little bit left over, I made the transition. And that was probably the dumbest thing in the world. A lot of people are like, I'm not going to do that unless my YouTube is making $80K a year. I'm not even close to that. I wish. Maybe one day I'll be lucky between all my channels to do something like that. But for me, just to have the freedom of doing what I want to do, even if it only lasts for a handful of years and I have to go back to the shit that I don't like, I'll take that. I will happily take that. Because I love making videos. I love talking about stuff. I love talking about music. I love creating music. And I feel like everybody should try to find something that they feel that way about. Whether it's a job that you go to, whether it's a side hustle, like whatever it is, always try to, you know, I like to call it David Goggins your way through life. Like, just don't give up. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Give yourself a little bit of tough love and try to really drive yourself, even in those moments when you feel like you don't have, you know, anything left. You're running on E, because those are the moments that are going to count the most. So I'm talking for way too long at this point, but I just wanted to make this video because I don't feel like she's wrong. And I don't feel like she deserves to get shit, because the people that are giving her shit, I know that they agree with what she's saying. That's why they're giving her shit, because they feel like they're struggling, and they're like, well, welcome to the real world. Welcome to what we deal with. And, you know, again, it's an unfortunate thing that the work process kind of, you know, it kind of just goes that way, where it's like, get up, work all day, get home, exhausted, spend some time with family, go to sleep, rinse, repeat, just wait for that vacation to come, or those 2 vacations a year to come, or however many that you happen to have, and hope that you have enough money saved up, and hope that you have enough if anything goes wrong, and our, you know, our healthcare system is shot, and there's so many like bad things. At the same time, I love America. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else, but there are a lot of things that unfortunately work in a certain way that isn't really in our favor. And, you know, I feel like when people call that out, we shouldn't throw shade at them. We should rally together and be like, you know what? You're right. This sucks. And, you know, and kind of go from there. But those are just my thoughts on it. Want to see what you guys think. And I will catch you in the next video, homies.